Are we ready to go, Greg? Okay. All right, I would like to call this meeting to order at 4:18 p.m. Thank you, Warden Warwick, for those remarks and doing our land acknowledgement. So we'll get right to business. We're going to ask you all to subscribe to your oath of office. Copies have been placed on your desk. So I'm going to ask each counselor to say their name individually, beginning with Counselor Ropp and finishing with Counselor Burkhart-Jessen. We will then have everyone subscribe to the oath of office together, and I'll have you repeat after me. But Counselor Ropp, if you can begin.
You want just our name at this time? Brian Ropp.
Mike McGuire. Colin Grantham.
Ina DeVete.
John Brennan.
Susan Clark.
Alan Mayhew.
Michelle Smibert.
Sharon McMillan.
Kathy Burkhart-Jessen.
Thank you. And if you could all please rise now. So I state your name, having been elected or appointed to the office of counselor for the Corporation of the County of Middlesex. Thank you, everyone. If you could each sign both copies that are on your desk, Rebecca will come around to pick them up. It is now my pleasure to introduce our members of County Council for the 2022 to 2026 term. If you could each please stand when I call your name. We have Sue Clark, Mayor, Municipality of Adelaide Metcalfe. Kathy Burkhart-Jessen, Mayor, Municipality of Lucan-Biddulph. Ina DeVete, Mayor, Municipality of Middlesex Centre. John Brennan, Deputy Mayor, Municipality of Middlesex Centre. Brian Ropp, Mayor, Municipality of North Middlesex. Alan Mayhew, Mayor, Municipality of Southwest Middlesex. Colin Grantham, Mayor, Municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc. Mike McGuire, Deputy Mayor, Municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc. Sharon McMillan, Mayor, Municipality of Thames Centre. Michelle Smibert, Deputy Mayor, Municipality of Thames Centre. So we'll now move on to the election of the warden. I will ask everyone in the gallery to remain seated following the election, as we do have some additional business we will attend to. So attached to the agenda is section 1H of the county's procedural bylaw. This section outlines the election for warden procedures. I'll read out an executive summary. One past warden is appointed to chair the nomination and voting portion of the meeting, along with two past wardens who are appointed as scrutineers. Ballots will be handed out for the names of the nominees. Nominees are given an opportunity to address council. Ballots will then be handed out for voting. if required. Upon one nominee receiving the majority of votes, he or she will be elected the warden of the County of Middlesex from December 8th, 2022 to December 7th, 2023. So I would ask for a mover and a seconder to appoint past warden Joanne Vanderhayden to chair the election portion of the meeting. Councillor DeVitt, seconded by Councillor Grantham. All in favor? Thank you. And if I could have a mover and seconder to appoint past warden Jim Maudsley and past warden Al Marr as scrutineers. Councillor Burkhart-Jessen, seconded by Councillor Smibert. All in favor? Carried. Not as easy as it looks. Okay, if the chair and scrutineers could please come forward.
So the first thing that we're going to do is hand out some white nomination ballots. And this is the opportunity for each person to nominate one of your fellow councillors or yourself, or however you want to go about doing that. So we'll have the scrutineers pass those out. Yeah. It didn't seem like that tough a job, but okay. Thank you, gentlemen. So I'll get everybody to fill those out. And you both might as well stay down there because you're gonna collect them. Okay, we've got a number of nominations here, so I'll read each one off, and if that person could tell us whether they would wish to run or not, that would be great. The first one is Councillor John Brennan.
Thank you, Madam Chair, being much more prepared this year than last time. I thank my nominator, but I will decline.
Thank you very much. And the second one is Councillor Kathy Burkhart-Jessen.
Thank you for that. And yes, I will accept the nomination.
Thank you. And the next one is Councillor Sue Clark.
Thank you for the nomination, but I respectfully decline.
And the next one is Councillor Alan Mayhew.
Thank you very much. I will very gladly stand for the position of warden. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last one is Councillor Brian Robb.
Thank you. Thank you to my nominator, but no, I do decline. Thank you.
I'm not sure what gave it away, the smile or the oh. Okay, so now we have an opportunity for both candidates to come up and have some time at the mic to tell us what you are thinking about Middlesex County for the year and talk to your colleagues in the audience. So we'll start with Councillor Burkhart-Jessen.
Past wardens, colleagues, county staff, friends, Councillor Mayhew, and family. It is a pleasure to be sitting here today, allowing my name to stand for nomination for Middlesex County Warden for 2023. Many of you might be surprised to see me here after recently serving the county as warden. And if I'm honest, I'm a bit surprised as well. Due to the recent election, there is significant change to the county governance table. We are fortunate to have a healthy mix of veteran and new councillors. Experience levels are varied. It is often said that the first year of a new term of council sets the tone for the term ahead. And having been on county council now for 8 years, I would agree. Priorities and strategies are often set during the first year, with action plans and implementation developing from there. While setting new courses, we have to continue the work that began the last term of council. And with all this in the forefront, it will take a warden with experience and a keen understanding of the landscape, someone that can build a team to guide us through the first year of our mandate. Humbly, I offer you that I am that person. There is no question that we are still recovering from a demanding few years. Leading through the pandemic posed us unique challenges. And while we say that we are moving beyond the pandemic, we are still faced with repercussions and recovery. From my vantage point, I see the next 4 years equally, if not more challenging. Many of these challenges will be direct byproducts of the pandemic, and many will be because of policies or directives and legislation coming from higher levels of government. Some will be because of private sector influences. Regardless of where they are coming from, I anticipate that this term of council will push us to limits that we have not experienced before. We will be tested. The unknowns just seem to multiply every day. And it will take the knowledge of our staff, the strength of this horseshoe, and the resolve of an experienced warden to act responsibly and responsively to the landscape in front of us. I've had the opportunity to meet with you over the last few weeks and get an understanding of what your priorities are. And while many of you have taken the I have to listen and learn approach with taking your seat at this table, there are no shortages of ideas, concerns, and suggestions. Our conversations covered road safety, land ambulance, recent provincial legislation, economic development, social services, and of course, housing concerns. A priority of mine will be to continue the lobbying efforts that we began last term of council when it comes to the funding of our social services. We have a strong and unique relationship with the City of London. Our social services department does an incredible job managing our programs with the funds we receive. The CMSM that the city manages is an agreement that has not been revisited since it was engaged. And the province needs to open up that agreement and change the funding model, making it current and relevant to the Middlesex County of today. Our residents are not being treated equitably. As demands for our social services and programming, such as early on, increase, changes need to be made. Last term, we began conversations in partnership with the city to address this inequity. It is my resolve to continue these efforts until the province addresses our concerns. If we can't properly meet the needs of our most vulnerable residents, then we have failed as local leaders. The relationship that we have with our local municipalities is strong. We have forged many agreements that have found savings and efficiencies for our ratepayers and how we best deliver our services. Continuing to work together, ensuring that our municipalities and the county are progressive, innovative, and inventive will prove to be incredibly beneficial to all. Many of the conversations that we shared centered around recent legislation brought down by the provincial government. And while these legislations will mean different things at the county level than they will at our local level, county planning is being confronted having to unpack it all. It will be incumbent on us to share the Middlesex story with the province. I have worked hard during my time on council to forge relationships with the province. As warden, I plan on advancing our concerns at tables that I have a valued voice at. As I mentioned earlier, we have quite the mix of veteran and new councillors at our table, and we need to get to know one another to establish trust, to understand the lanes that we are coming in through, to build respect and understanding of our varied priorities, to build a team. I look forward to bringing us together so that we can have a strong and effective Middlesex County governance table. As we gather in this most historical setting, I cannot help but feel a tad overwhelmed, as I know many of you do, by the presence of this chamber. From the history of the courthouse and the landmark trials that were carried out here, to the governance of past councils, oh, the stories these walls could tell. This council will have to decide where our future governance table will be. Options will be presented and council will be tasked as to how best to serve our county. This chamber continues to remind us of the trust that has been placed in us by our residents, a trust that we cannot take lightly. I am looking forward to the term ahead, and in particular this first year. You know, it's not all doom and gloom. Middlesex County is on a great trajectory. We have shown our residents and our neighbors what it means to be leaders in municipal governance. People within and beyond our borders are taking notice of all that Middlesex County is. The momentum of elevating our work, our presence, our voice, it can't stop. I will always work to make Middlesex County all that it can be. As an artist once penned, you can't start a fire without a spark. A spark has been lit, and I look forward to working with all of you to fan the flames and really start that fire.
Thank you very much, Councillor Burkhart-Jessen. And now we'll give the floor to Councillor Alan Mayhew.
Thank you very much, County Council, past wardens, administration and staff, and members of the gallery. 230 years ago, Lieutenant Governor John Grave Simcoe camped just outside from where we are currently sitting. Huddling over his campfire on the banks of the Thames River, he was in search of a capital for Upper Canada. Since that time, Middlesex County has transformed itself into a dynamic footprint of farms that are part of feeding the nation. We supply the grain to the biofuel producers. We offer expansive commercial and industrial areas that create employment. And we maintain a network of roads and infrastructure that get individuals to their destination on time. 200 years plus is not a significant duration of time in historical studies when compared to European or Asian history. 200 years is merely a journey back to your great or great-great-grandparents. This successful transition from a rugged timbered landscape to a balanced and planned footprint was guided by councils and administrations over the past century and a half. The past Middlesex County Council is now a contributor to our history, and this council will now lead us into the future with a continued promise of fair, transparent, and accountable government that will enhance the quality of life for members of the Middlesex family. I have every confidence that this council, like those who have come before us, will propel our county into the future with the noble assistance that we receive from administration and staff. I announced on November 8th my interest in being your warden for 2023, and I respectfully ask each of you for your support. There is little doubt that any one of us could fulfill this position now or in the future. Experiencing the position of warden enhances the quality of counselors around the horseshoe, and it is my sincere wish that members before me will want to wear the warden's chain of office in the future. Over the last 4 years, I have been engaged in most, if not all, discussions at the county level. As a counselor, I have worked with all departments within the county personally, and I feel I am ready to wear the regalia with respect and honor. I commit to you that I will work tirelessly and face critical or sensitive issues with studied confidence. I will chair this chamber with the respect that each of you deserve, knowing that our focus will always be what is best for this county. I respect both the familiar faces around this horseshoe and look forward to developing relationships with those who are new to this council. I have been accustomed to an environment of deadlines and pressures most of my adult life. I have overcome many challenges during those 46 years as an independent and as an individual. Over the last 4 years, there has never been a bad day at County Council. Though we may have different views on various issues, we always walk away in peace. Today will be no different. Regardless of how the results of choosing your next warden evolve, we will walk away in harmony with each other and continue to move Middlesex forward. Should you bestow the position of warden on me, I promise that I will work with commitment, passion, and fairness every day for each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mayhew. Now as we have opportunity to vote, so we will get the next papers. One each, yeah. So you'll be voting for either Councillor Burkhart Jessen or Councillor Mayhew. So now it is our honor to announce the new 2022 warden will be Kathy Burkhart Jessen. Congratulations. I would ask for a motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor Ropp, Councillor Grantham. Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.
So I would now ask for a motion to elect Councillor Kathy Burkhart Jessen as warden of the County of Middlesex from December 7th, 2022 to December 8th, 2023. Councillor Mayhew, seconded by Councillor Brennan. All in favor? And that's carried. Warden-elect, if you could please subscribe to the declaration of office. Rebecca's going to hand it to you.
I, Kathy Burkhart Jessen, having been elected or appointed to the office of Warden for the Corporation of the County of Middlesex, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you. I'll now ask past Warden Warwick to come forward to present the chain of office. Warden Burkhart Jessen, if you could come forward as well. Past Warden Warwick, you also will present the gavel. And we'll ask Warden Kathy Burkhart Jessen to present the gavel to past Warden Warwick.
Just before we move into our special meeting, and that will be very entertaining for anybody that's attended county before. We've never had to do this, so you're in for a treat. But I do just want to take a moment to thank my fellow councillors for the confidence that you've shown in me. To Councillor Mayhew, I know that we will always work well together, and I certainly look forward to continuing that and your contributions to the county over the next year. So thank you very much. I do look forward to the year ahead, and now I guess it's time to get to work. So I do have to call a special meeting of council to order. And with that, I would ask, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, We do have to go into, we have one item of new business in front of us and something that hasn't happened before, but we have to amend our rules of procedure bylaw so that we can make accommodation to have a deputy warden appointment. So with that, Marcy, I'll turn it over to you and you can walk us through.
Thank you. So as Warden Burkhart Jessen said, we are bringing this report forward to amend the deputy warden and committee appointment provisions of our procedural bylaw. So we knew, sorry, I apologize. We knew there would be a possibility that we would need to elect a deputy warden following the election of warden, and that is the case. So we also wanted to address the committee appointment provisions to enable appointments to be made by the warden and deputy warden at our first regular meeting, which is happening on Tuesday, December 13th. So there is an amending bylaw attached to the report that enables the deputy warden to be elected if necessary, using the same procedures we just used to elect the warden. And it also, that bylaw also makes the necessary changes to the committee appointment provisions that will allow the warden and deputy warden to make those appointments. The recommendation is that the bylaw be introduced at the December 8th, 2022 special meeting of council, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Are there any questions of Marcy at this time? Okay, seeing none, Marcy's told us what the motion is. Do I have it in front of me? So that motion is that the bylaw to amend the deputy warden and committee appointment provisions of rules of procedure bylaw 5968 attached to Schedule A to the staff report be introduced at the December 8th, 2022 special meeting. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor McGuire and Councillor McMillan. All in favor? And that is carried. So I have to do the bylaws, right? So we have two bylaws in front of us that we have to pass. And the first one is bylaw 7201, and it's a bylaw to amend deputy warden and committee appointment provisions of rules procedure bylaw 5968 and bylaw 7202. And that's a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the December 8th, 2022 special meeting of council. So the first motion will be that the bylaws be given their first and second reading. A mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Grantham, Councillor DeVitt. All in favor? And that's carried. And then for third and final reading, Councillor Smybert and Councillor Clark. All in favor? And that's carried. And I would ask for a motion to adjourn our special meeting at 4:50 p.m. A mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Mayhew, Councillor McMillan. All in favor? And that's carried. And now I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, so if there are no objections, I will call back up our past wardens, Vanderhayden, Maudsley, and Marr.
We're back. So now you've got an opportunity. We are going to pass out nomination forms once again, and you will nominate the person that you feel would be a good deputy warden. So let's get right on that. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We've got 4 different people nominated, so we will start in alphabetical order. Councillor John Brennan.
Once again, Madam Chair, I appreciate the nomination, but I will decline.
Thank you very much. Councillor Sue Clark.
Thank you to my nominator, but I respectfully decline.
Councillor Ina DeViet.
Thank you for the nomination, and I will accept. Thank you.
Councillor Alan Mayhew.
Yes, thank you for the nomination. I will stand. Thank you.
Perfect. So we've got 2. And we're going to go do the same thing as before. You each have an opportunity to address council. So we'll start in alphabetical order. Councillor DeViet.
Newly elected warden, fellow councillors, staff, honorable guests. Certainly, this is not our usual inaugural. And once again, we are reminded that things obviously change and we always need to be ready to adapt to new circumstances. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you about my interest in being the deputy mayor. And as you are all aware, our newly appointed warden has a wealth of experience and a record of accomplishment through especially difficult times during the last term of council. It is a record that clearly speaks for itself. So I have every confidence that our warden will continue to execute her role in a way we know and respect. If chosen as deputy, I'm committing to support and assist Warden Kathy Burkhart-Jessen in any way she needs or requests. It would be my great pleasure and my honor to serve as her second to help in anything that she requires to ensure that all of her duties, obligations, and commitments are met, and that the reputation of our county is maintained. I ask for your support in my bid for deputy warden, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mayhew.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. It would be my delight to work alongside Warden Burkhart. I think there is much to do and my experience in the past knows that we have a very able staff, and I would just absolutely be delighted. When I spoke briefly about our period of history outside these walls of governments, though we can learn from history, we must look at what the mandate of this council is to bring us into the future. I think I can do that. Change is not possible without new ideas and an expression of new opinions. And I think that I can offer that as a deputy warden. In my closing remarks, I certainly value the friendship that I have with our warden that has been elected. And furthermore, there's sentiments must be expressed to Alison Warwick as well. Her contributions to both government and substance and demeanor are worthy targets to pursue. And I would certainly use that as a model going forward as well in my work and helping Warden Burkhart-Jessen. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before we get set, put the papers forward, I don't think that the council or the audience knows why we had to do this. We know why, but I don't think the audience knows why. So why don't I just clarify? It's always been the policy that the immediate past warden would become the deputy warden. We obviously around the table do not have an immediate past warden. So this is why the policy had to be changed. I just wanted to so that the people in the audience know what's going on and why this happened. You didn't get the report, the council got the report. So just thought I'd clarify that. Ready?
As soon as you say so.
Ready?
If you're ready, go.
So it's my honor today to announce that the new deputy warden for 2022 is Deputy Warden Ina DeViet. And with that, can I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Councillors Smybert and Councillor Clark, anyone opposed? Yeah, almost got you there, Councillor Rob. Thank you for your.
Okay, I would now ask for a motion to elect Councillor Ina DeViet as Deputy Warden of the County of Middlesex from December 7th, 2022 to December 8th, 2023. Councillor Grantham, Councillor Mayhew, all in favor? That's carried. Councillor DeViet, did you want to say a few words?
I'm delighted for the opportunity and I want to thank everyone and I'll promise to do my very best. I think we will have a lot of work ahead, so I'm looking forward to helping.
Thank you. So I think with that, we can get a mover and a seconder to adjourn the meeting at 5:01 p.m. Councillor McGuire. Councillor Roth, I was willing you into it.